Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking. Join me as I travel the country, learning the tips, tricks, and stories behind the recipes and home cooks that make up the world's #1 food site, allrecipes.com. This week, we're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, often called the birthplace of America. The city has a number of cultural landmarks, but the one I'm most excited about seeing are the steps made famous in the movie Rocky. I've always wanted to do that. The area is also known for its large Italian-American community, so it's appropriate that this week, All Recipes cook Patti, aka Patti Poupadou, is going to show us how to cook veal.
You know, this is a loin of veal, but it really doesn't have a lot of fat. When it grows up, it'll be a porterhouse steak. That's what it'll grow up into.
Some of Philadelphia's finest veal can be found here at the Reading Terminal Market in downtown Philly.
You know, veal doesn't have any fat, but it's how you season it.
Sounds like a challenge to me, but I'm sure Patti is up to it. This is What's Cooking. We're here today with Patti in Gilberstville, Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia, and we're going to be making today her famous, if it's not famous yet, it soon will be, her veal mozzarella. So why don't you tell me something I can do to get started, and then maybe give me a little history about why we're making this recipe today.
Well, we first had this at Ralph's Italian restaurant in South Philly, and we liked it so much we wanted to do it at home. So we called and we asked what the secret ingredients were,
Right.
which was the sherry. But the most important thing with this is to keep the veal really thin. So
Okay.
it's not chewy. So you can pound the veal.
This looks like
really
sushi.
thin.
I feel like some
Flour.
AC/DC should be playing while I'm hammering this. While I'm rocking out over here with the veal, Patti is mixing together the flour, salt, and pepper. Then we'll dredge the flattened veal into the mixture. All right, what next, boss?
Okay, now we're going to take the veal.
Okay. And now the pan just has
Just
olive
olive
oil.
oil.
Okay.
Yep.
Flip them when the edges start to turn just a little bit brown, like so. Since they're so thin, if you leave these in the pan too long, they'll get tough.
Yeah, because when I serve this, I don't like to put a knife on the table. I just like it.
Okay.
If you have to use a knife, then it's not made right.
All right. There you have it. If you have to use a knife, it's not made right.
Right.
Then, get out a pan and coat the bottom with a little bit of olive oil. Then, line up the cooked veal and cover it with a nice, thick layer of mozzarella cheese.
A lot of it.
Okay, you tell me not to be dainty.
Right.
Next, we'll boil some angel hair pasta before we start working on the sauce. Once you've drained the oil from the pan, add in a stick of butter and the cooking sherry. Next, we're going to make a roux to help the sauce thicken up. Just combine 3 tablespoons each of flour and sherry.
And you whisk that together. Bring the heat up a little bit.
Once the sauce is ready, pour it into the pan over the cheese and veal. So you don't completely cover, just enough here to...
Right, because then the cheese is going to get all melty. And
Then, just pop it into the oven for about 20 minutes. Along with all the great veal and the pasta that you've made, we're going to have a summer movie night, and you can't have a movie night without some type of beverage. Why don't you tell me about this rather pink beverage that you've got here and why you're so excited about this?
Okay, well tonight we're watching Willy Wonka.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to have a candy-themed cocktail. And I Googled to see if there was any fizzy lifting drink cocktails. And when I Googled it, nothing came up. So I decided I had to get into my laboratory and develop one.
So this is entirely your own creation.
It is my own creation.
Okay.
So what I do is I take a bottle of vodka and I take bubble gum, and it has to be the old-fashioned kind.